Hey guys, Dr. Davin, board certified laser dermatologist. Today we'll be talking about skincare in this lockdown. I've been getting lots and lots of requests as well as questions both on YouTube but also on Instagram. So if you haven't followed me on Instagram or haven't known about what I do on Instagram, by all means the links are below. I do 1 or 2 posts per day, especially in this quiet period, to help you with your skincare. So the big question is that why does your skin flare up during a lockdown period? Why does your skin flare up when you're actually at home? So there's a couple of reasons. First of all, believe it or not, is diet. So we all know that acne can worsen with certain types of food. So when we're talking about things like oily food, greasy food, processed food, foods which have high glycemic index, so sugary foods, as well as dairy associated foods, so things like yogurt, milk, ice cream, all the good stuff that we like, that is yummy, that can flare up skin. So before you blame it on other things, look first at your diet. Remember, it's important not only to socially distance from other people, but I guess socially distance from your refrigerator as well. I certainly have been trying to practice that, but I'm guilty. I've put on about 5 pounds. But anyway, diet is a very, very important fact. So if you can go on a acne-free diet, so acne-free diet basically is anything that you can eat out of a packet that's either not cereals, fruits, or nuts is bad for you because chances are it's processed food. So things like instant noodles is a big culprit. Other things include obviously chocolates, your sweets, your ice cream, and all those fried foods. So to be on an acne-free diet or a good acne diet is to take unprocessed foods, so things like whole grains, cereals, fruits, vegetables, meat, fish, eggs, all the good things that may not taste so well. Okay, so apart from diet, what else can flare up acne in this period? Stress. So I can understand stress because I've got a young daughter who's causing me a lot of grief now. So it's and kudos to all those teachers because I don't know how you deal with 30 kids in a classroom. But anyway, stress can make acne worse, whether it be stress financially, economically, stress of the whole situation, stress of having kids running around, the stress of your partner. That can flare up acne, especially picking acne. So if you're picking, by all means, stop it. How do you alleviate stress? Well, I'm not the best to actually give you that advice because I'm a dermatologist, not a psychiatrist. However, meditation and positive thinking can help. Moving on, believe it or not, being indoors away from natural light makes your acne worse. That's why when you go on a beach holiday, on a sunny holiday, apart from decreasing stress, the light itself often makes acne worse. How does it work? Well, light itself contains different wavelengths. It's not the UV spectrum because the UV spectrum can be blocked using sunscreen, so UVB and UVA. However, visible light itself kills acne. We know that. Dermatologists have been using light for many years, known as phototherapy. So we use blue in around the 420 to 430 nanometer spectrum, and we also use light that's red in color around the 620 all the way to 650 nanometer spectrum. So the blue and the red light, which you receive just by going outside, even if you have sunscreen on, the blue and the red goes through. That activates the chemicals known as porphyrins, which are produced by P. acnes, which is the bacteria living in your oil glands. So natural sunlight, that's why your acne improves with light. Just having sensible, natural sunlight can activate the chemicals that kills the bacteria. So your bacteria counts goes down with natural sunlight. And being locked up indoors, we don't get much natural sunlight. So that's the reason why acne can flare. Last of all, it's what we call occasional acne. Occasional acne, as the name suggests, occurs occasionally. So if you keep everything else, I guess, standardized. So we talk about standardized diet, standardized skincare, standardized habits. These are all variables which are standard, but still some people can get acne. And apart from hormonal causes, which are totally different, occasional acne occurs because of our circadian rhythm. So during this period, I go to sleep at around 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. I wake up at 2 o'clock, between 2 to 5:30. Believe it or not, I'm doing some work, reading stuff, watching podcasts. And that really disrupts your circadian rhythm and your cortisol levels. So what happens over time is that, generally speaking, when you wake up in the morning, your cortisol level goes up. When the cortisol level goes up, that can stimulate your sebaceous glands to produce more oil. But because of the circadian rhythm now, the circadian rhythm's all over the shop, which means your oil gland production of sebum is all over the shop, which means the chances of getting acne is a lot higher. So by getting good sleeping habits, that can normalize your circadian rhythm, and that can normalize your cortisol production. So that can help with acne. So what else can you do in this lockdown period that you may not be able to have access, for example, to a dermatologist? Certainly if you have cystic acne or if you have a medical emergency, as many dermatologists would provide what's known as telemedicine or telehealth or teledermatology. By all means, see a dermatologist that way if needed. But I'll give you a couple of other hints what you can do at home to decrease acne in this period. First of all, simple washes. So we talked about things like beta hydroxy acid washes. So Neutrogena makes a really good one. It's called oil-free wash. It contains 2% salicylic acid. If you use that twice a day, that can help. If you have sensitive skin, you might want to try once a day. Increase is tolerated. Our second line treatment, most dermatologists would recommend a retinol or a retinoid because it treats one of the causes of acne. In fact, all 4 causes of acne, including increased oil production, which is sebum, inflammation, abnormal proliferation of or shedding of your skin, and last of all, it can decrease P. acnes, or the bacteria implicated in acne. So in the US, you guys are very lucky because you get Differin or adapalene, which is over the counter. In Australia, you need a script, but in other countries where you can't get adapalene, certainly a retinol, something from, like, for example, there are many companies that manufacture this. Environ makes a good one, Aspect Doctor. If you're more into the budget stuff, The Ordinary makes a good retinol as well. The formulations aren't as great compared to higher end companies, but the active ingredients are still there. So using a retinol or retinoid at night can help your acne. Beware that you may purge for the first 2 to 3 weeks. You need to use it as a field treatment. So you can't just use it as a spot treatment. I'll deal with spot treatments later on. But as a field treatment, in other words, acne prone areas. So you might want to start off on, for example, your forehead, your T-zone. At night, wash it off in the morning. So start slow, increase from there. Other things to try. So apart from, we talked about beta hydroxy acids, we talked about retinol or retinoids. We can talk about, for example, other acids. So alpha hydroxy acids can help. So things like lactic acid or glycolic acid, because they can exfoliate your blackheads, which are the primary source of papules and pustules and cysts and zits. So using a sensible wash can help. Lactic acid, alpha hydroxy acid, glycolic acid. You can buy all these from, like I said, the cost-effective companies like the Inkey List or The Ordinary. If you're after something a little bit higher end, more luxury, that's super powerful, you can't go past something like Drunk Elephant, because they've got a really good acid called a Sakura Baby Facial. So it's a leave-on, then wash off 15 minutes to an hour later, depending on your skin sensitivities and what you're trying to aim for. Other acids that can help, azelaic acid. So azelaic acid can be found in Finacea, or it can be found in Asclear. So patients with sensitive skin, so if you have, for example, just sensitive skin, you have rosacea, you have dermatitis or eczema or excoriated acne, you might want to go down the azelaic acid route before looking at something like a retinoic acid. And certainly I would stay well clear of things like alpha hydroxy acids if you've got sensitive skin. So azelaic acid can be used at night, it can be used in the morning, it's very flexible, it's safe in pregnancy, it's safe in lactation. Many ways to use azelaic acid. And finally, I'm not going to give you guys a whole 10 ways to treat acne. I'm just going to give you what most dermatologists would rank at-home treatments. So last of all, we probably should consider the use of, I talked about it in the past, microdermabrasion or abrasion kits. That can certainly help in the context of acne because it can exfoliate blackheads and it can reduce milia. So microdermabrasion kits nowadays, when I looked up online, I'm surprised. for as cheap as $30 US. Good companies like Neutrogena are making these microdermabrasion kits. So in my last video, I talked about microdermabrasion in the context, not of acne, in the context of skin rejuvenation, why I think microdermabrasion is not as effective compared to chemical exfoliation in that context. But in the context of acne, if you get congested skin that's non-inflammatory, certainly microdermabrasion kits bought online can help. If you haven't checked out that video, by all means, check it out. Guys, I hope you like those tips. I do a lot of these tips, I guess, 3-4 times a week. So if you haven't followed me on Instagram, link's down below. And I also do more advanced tips based primarily for physicians, but also estheticians and people working in the skincare industry. And that's 101.skin. It's a more science-based information portal and a little bit of my outlet on, on I guess, my thoughts in regards to the aesthetic industry. Guys, I hope you liked that video. Please, by all means, comment below, subscribe, and share. Guys, I'll see you same time, same place next week. Bye for now.